When testing content for augmented reality, it's impossible to know the different conditions or environments that your users may be. This video will cover fuzzy authoring and how to adjust and test your content quickly to reduce iteration time and speed up development, all within the Unity editor. All right, so let's start by going ahead and placing some content from our project hierarchy into the simulation view. And the one thing I'm going to adjust here is I am going to select the height above floor because I want all of my content to be up on these planes found above the floor. And lastly, let's go ahead and grab this robot. So this looks good in this specific kitchen environment. We have all of our content spawning on the different surfaces. But now let's jump to a different simulation view and see how our content reacts. Notice that we have two of the crystals visible, but our plane proxy relative to our robot is not visible. And if you notice in our content hierarchy, there's a dash through the gizmo here, indicating that none of the conditions of this proxy have been met, so our robot isn't visible. To adjust this, we can click the Compare in Simulation view and see why it's not selecting or set to this plane here. Once I've selected it, you can see that the minimum and maximum size don't fall within the range of this selected plane. Now I can do one of two things. I can include this range within these conditions, or I can optimize it specifically to spawn for this surface. So now that I've done that, we have our robot and all of our content is visible. Let's move on to the next simulation view. Here again, you'll notice that both of the crystals are visible, but not the robot. Now let's do again comparing the simulation view for this tabletop over here on this kitchen island. Now what I'm going to do here is you'll notice that the selected size is not again within this range. So for that, I'm going to uncheck the maximum size, which now gives our proxy relative to the robot a little more freedom for the different planes. And here you can see it spawned. Now in the next simulation view, again, we see two of our crystals, but not our robot. So let's go and look at why he's not spawning on something like this surface. Again, the selected data is not within the range. Here our maximum in the Y is larger than what we're seeing in this found Y. So I'm just going to go ahead and manually change this value from 1.995 to 1. And now our robot has spawned, but you'll notice that it's occupying the same space as our crystal. To get around this, each proxy has an exclusivity property on it. And for each of the proxies that I have here, I'm going to change it from read only to exclusive. So here within our robot, I can change this right here to reserved. And now I'm going to do the same for both of the crystals so that each of our content occupies its own found plane. And there we go. So now let's check our next simulation environment. And here you can see that we have one crystal and one robot, but the other crystal isn't visible. Let's go around and start comparing this. Here I've selected this here. And now I'm just going to include this size. So there we have our crystal. And let's move on to our last environment. Through the adjustments that we've made, all of our content instantly spawns in this last environment. And now we can hop back through the different simulation views and see if our adjustments worked. Here we have all our content there, visible and exclusive in this living room, visible within this kitchen, this one as well, and finally back to where we started. You can see that all the content is spawning and occupying its own exclusive space. Here we've gone through and made adjustments to the conditions, adjusting the certain plane conditions that these proxies are looking for to automatically spawn this content. Mars allows you to create these complex, more immersive augmented reality experiences by allowing you to set up different conditions and then testing in a wide range of simulated environments, making it easy to know that your content will just work no matter where the user is testing and experiencing your application.